Oreo? Oreo? You're first. JW, Rich. Rich, how's the wife today? Rich, I am going to start cleaning. I got a dozen baits I've got to sand, and then I'll put them on their little sticks, and I can try and get my little area cleaned up. Get some of this. It's just stuff everywhere, dude. Like a dude sent me a message yesterday, like right when I was about to leave. He said, "Hey, do your wacky bands fit on a Zoom trick worm?" I said they sure do. So I had to pull out like 2 buckets of worms to find a trick worm. Found one, and I had to find my bands and the tool, rig it up, and I got all that done. But it's just that's the kind of shit that makes a mess. Like I was trying to get out the door, and I just leave shit like that laying out. So now I've got stuff to clean up, but not too much. It's mainly baits, honestly. There's baits everywhere. Oh, Kyle, you're probably right. I don't like college football. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to watch if I have literally nothing else to do and like both of my legs are broken. But besides that, I could think of a lot better stuff to do with my time than sit around and watch football. But that's just me. I am the minority here. I am the minority. But so I've always carried a Sodbuster case. Was always my favorite. Was always my favorite knife. I like the chrome vanadium steel that they use on the blade because it was easy to sharpen. But this one, I don't know what got on it, but it has like pitted like crazy down the blade. And that whatever corrosion or whatever got on this blade like ate whatever bevel I had. Like it was gone. So I've been trying to get this thing sharpened back up, but it's not. It's going to take some work. So I rubbed on it for a little while and didn't get anywhere. I still can't circumcise a gnat with it, so I'll keep grinding on it till it's a damn toothpick. But I've had that knife since college, I think. It's been with me for a while. JW, probably. I don't know. I'm sure cases are made in China now. I don't know where they're made. It doesn't say China. It says USA. I don't know. I don't know much about knives. I just know I like that one. And I like the size of it. My dad's always carried old man or old timer or old something. I think it was an old timer. Wasn't that the brand? And Those things are always hard as hell to sharpen. Would you rather watch the Kardashians in your robe eating ice cream out of the container? That's not the worst idea I've ever heard. Jake the Snake, one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what's funny? I got into wrestling. I'm not into wrestling. Like I don't watch wrestling now, but I follow a bunch of like wrestling Instagram pages so they can for whatever reason that's like hugely entertaining to me, and I was never a wrestling fan growing up. Like I liked wrestling, but like we didn't like order pay-per-view Royal Rumbles or anything. But I like watching that. I like watching all the old like throwback clips. They're pretty funny. I didn't realize how good wrestling was, like how entertaining it was while it was happening. I didn't appreciate it until now. The male version of the Kardashians, pretty much. But I gotta get yeah, I gotta get all these baits ready to paint. Get them pumped out next week. From now on, I have to ask Amy what we're watching. It's gonna be it's gonna be hyper masculine from now on. Um, oh, and I can't use the camera angle looks different to me, but Kyle, I haven't found a good fillet knife because Bubba Blades suck. Marty Burns, how goes it? Uh, Somebody was telling me. I know a lot of the old timers really like the old wood handle Rapala knives. That those would sharpen good. Um, but no, I haven't fallen in love. I saw I always look when I'm like at a pier somewhere like down at the Gulf or something. I always look for like pro fish cleaners and see what kind of knives they're using. And they're always some kind of like generic white handled knife. And I think it's just like the guys know how to sharpen knives really well, and they just buy like a knife. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know though. I always had a hard time. Okay, to get out of the three Kardashian sisters, who you got when you're stranded on the island? Um, are you talking F Mary Kill? Uh, Probably keep Kim around. She's the easiest to look at. Uh, I have a case pocket knife that was my grandfather's and passed away 1960. Wow. I've got my grandfather's case. He's actually got quite a few, but he's got one of my favorite styles. It's like a side buster, but it's thinner, but it's about that same size. But it's got two blades in it, and one of them's like a Texas toothpick, and the other one's kind of side bustery. But it's really thin, and it's I don't know what kind of material the handle's made out of, but I'm sure it's something rare because I think it's from like the 50s or 60s. But it's still in real good shape. No, don't do this. I've never seen a pro use an electric knife. Like anybody that I've seen, like deckhands that clean fish for people, like for a living. Um, Damn, it's pouring rain. They've always got a fixed blade, like just a regular old straight handle knife. I don't know. I wish somebody would. There should be a debunking video on YouTube that somebody's done. Best fixed blade, uh, straight handle fillet knife. Um, I have to dig around. Dig around and see. All right, how many more of these damn things I got? Can't beat the wooden handle Rapala. That's what I was saying. I feel like that's what I like. That's what I grew up on, and those things always just they get sharp as hell. Good flex, and I don't know if they're the same or not. I don't know that they're the same. I need to talk to a. I need to ask. I'm trying to think who I know. That's true, Kyle. Some people do like stiff. Some people do like flexy. I don't like too flexy, and I don't like too stiff. I like a good in between. Um, I need something that's going to bend on that down the spine. Otherwise, if it's too stiff, I feel like I just cut through everything. And also, I guess it depends on what you're filleting. Like I guess you would need two different knives for filleting a redfish than you would maybe filleting like a 12-inch white trout uh, or a bass or something like that. So, I don't know. You would think after all these years I would have that figured out, but Castledine just posted a video. We made it to the finals. Hopefully he wins. That'll be fun. Hopefully that'll be fun for his private group. Don't you think, Stearman? You still in there, or did you bail? What did you say? Give me my money back, Castledine. You are not holding up to your part of the bargain. You think the hybrid hunter is playing? I do. If I had to guess, that would make total sense. Um, he was talking about it in his last video when he was at the tournament that they were doing the opposite. And I'm guessing I was trying to think what would be the opposite of what's going on up there that you wouldn't think. And obviously he's probably fishing shallow. So I'm guessing that the water might be falling, and as the water falls, they're going shallower. Possibly, if the water's falling. But just when I was picking my brain as to what conventional thought would tell you about the opposites of things, it's like he's probably shallow, and probably the water's falling out on him, and he was thinking, my fish are going to move out, and rather than move out, they moved up, which I've seen happen. Or they stay put, they just get harder to catch, or they're moving up in volume. I don't know. We'll find out. Want to fillet a yellowfin? I use a chopper. I want to clean a gar with a hatchet. I saw some Cajun dude do that, and it looked pretty fun. But I know I'd screw it up. The first one, you'd have to have a sacrificial gar to practice on. I've never filleted anything that big. Biggest thing I've ever filleted is like a redfish. Uh, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what's going on at Gunnersville this week. Oh, Blaine, you dick! Sorry, Instagram. About to lose everybody. Is everybody back? Nate Rolling, what's up, dude? Nasty Nate. I'm just sanding some Burns baits. I can't show them though. Somebody called. Somebody did call. My buddy's looking at buying a boat. He's the one that just called. And it looks like he's got about 50K to spend. Um, and he was looking at a 2019 Nitro. So he's like, "What do you think about nitros?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "You gonna buy a car from Walmart?" It's like that's basically what you're getting out of a nitro. I feel like they're decent boats. It's like, do I want one? Not really. Um, but I like the layout of them. I like a lot of things about a nitro. Uh, are they built the best? Probably not to the standard of other brands, but I don't I don't I don't know. I said, Travis, that was my other question. How long are you going to keep it? I said, because I don't know anybody that's ever kept one past 2 years. Like I really don't know anybody that's riding around with like a 8-year-old nitro. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, but I just don't personally know any. Um, so his the features the features he liked were because he fishes with his kids in those like high school tournaments and stuff. He's like, I'm sick of carrying two coolers. I want one with a big cooler. And he's like, Nitros is huge. I was like, yeah. He's like, it's got big storage. It's got all these little cubby holes and stuff like that. And I was like, are you really about to spend $50,000 on a boat because it's got a big cooler? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I was like, I know. It's like I don't know what the going price of a used Camus is, but I'd try to find one of those. And then I looked up last night, and the cheapest I could find was 67 for a year or two old boat, and I was like, I can tell you by with absolute certainty that the Camus cooler, I can put a whole gallon of Red Diamond sweet tea in it, and and all the other food and drinks and stuff and ice, and it'll hold it. Uh, I was like, so they got big coolers and they ride awesome and they feel good to fish out of and they're built well and great boats. Um, if he's keeping it for a while, I wouldn't touch it. That's kind of what I was thinking. But I think he's sold on this damn thing. But I don't know that he keeps anything very long, except the boat he's got now. Um, but I don't know. I would certainly pass on it. I think he wants something. He said he wanted something 2018 or newer. Um, he's leaving a he's leaving like a 2005 uh, Triton aluminum boat, like the 19 Magnum or whatever. It's got like a 225 on it or something. Pro XS. He had the transom rebuilt, and repainted, and boat looks awesome. Um, but I would just keep that boat, but I don't think it works. It's doing. I don't think it's doing what he wants for traveling around fishing with the kids and stuff. Uh, I think he doesn't think it's safe enough. Or not that it's not safe enough. It's he would feel safer in a glass boat. Um, Carpet falls off the lids. That sucks. Go with the bug before a nitro. Yeah, he was looking at a Skeeter. Um, but I don't know, man. Not my money, but I wouldn't give it to Johnny Morris. I think he looked at Phoenix's. Um, Phoenix seems to make a nice boat. They just seem they're kind of boring to me, and I don't like the graphics on the side. John D, what's up, dude? We're talking about boats. You got any preference on nitros? Do you own a nitro? Would you own a nitro if you were in the market for a used boat? I know I need to put my hands above the table so it doesn't look like I'm sitting here uh, uh, diddling myself. I am indeed sanding a bait, but I can't hold it up because it has rattles in it, and I can't show the proprietary Marty Burns rattle. Uh, Later, Nate. John, that's what he's getting out of. He fishes out of a 10 rig, but it's a big one. It's the 19 Magnum um, Triton, which is a badass boat. But like I said, he's fishing with kids and taking kids fishing and going all over the place, and he wants something bigger, safer. Which is a pretty big boat. Um, yeah, these are for Eric. John, I don't care for Blazers. I'll tell you my biggest beef with Blazer. Um, um, is I don't like, and my other issue with Nitro, and the Nitros I've been in, is the seats are too high in a Nitro. Like when you hit a wake, I feel like I'm going to bounce out of a Nitro. Um, when anytime I've had a lot of buddies on Blazers, and anytime I drove their Blazers, you're like sitting down inside the hull. Like the seats are so low, you're driving like up here, and like I'm 6'1", like I can see over a steering wheel, but in a Blazer, I'm like peeking over and like driving like this. And I was really, really not a fan of that. I don't know if they've changed their seat orientation or not, but I'm not a fan of like bullets where you sit real low. Um, I don't like any of those boats that you sit really low in. Uh, and I also don't like the ones you sit really high in. I think that's why I like a Triton so much, is because the seats are right. Um, I know a Falcon won't get up in shallow water down here in Florida. That would seem to be problematic living in Florida. Do you have to do the, as we call it, the Alabama U-turn, where you like whip around and do a 180 to get on plane? I've never seen a Falcon in person. They're nice looking hulls though. Um, I don't know, man. I wish. I think I'm. I think I'm just a. I think I'm just an Earl Bentz fanboy. Like I just. I think I just like the way he builds a boat. Um, he does everything to my liking, except the Camus is kind of ugly. Um, they're not the. They're not. They're not a. They're not an older Earl Bentz era Triton. That was a great design. Um, like the Skeeters, like the FX Skeeters, they're sexy looking. Uh, Nitros don't appeal to me in the looks department. Um, how are the rod boxes set up on a Falcon? Um, Gambler. I think Gamblers sit low too. Those were real popular for a while. Glad you're not a John Story nut hugger champion fanboy like Travis. Those damn champion guys. They'll take their damn champions to the graves. There's you can either run a champion, and if you don't like your champion, you can go out and get a new champion. And if you don't like that one, try another champion. I've never, I don't know that I've ever been in a champion. Uh, been in Stratuses. Those were, they still make Stratus. Stratus a thing. I like the Stratus. Stratus had a good look. Um, Wide body champs aren't real champions. It's one thing about a champion though. If you've got an old one, never have any problems selling it. There's always people looking for those damn things. Uh, you know, it was a real piece of shit that I always thought was like, I guess it was just great marketing um, in design that I found out later in life was not what I expected it to be. Is growing up reading Bassmasters, I would see advertisements and I would see guys on the pro trail fishing out of Astro boats. And I used to see the pictures of the Astro boats, and I would think to myself, damn, I bet that boat will fly. Like they just looked fast. And come to find out, they're not fast at all. They're actually the opposite. And I would have bought one thinking it was like a speed demon. And then you get it on the water and come to find out it'll only do 60. To me, the 203 is still the narrow boat. Travis, what is there a specific year model and hull that like champion guys salivate over? Like what's the one? There's got to be one that if you were talking to a champion guy and you were like, he's like, what kind of boat you have, or what champion do you run? And you said, oh, I run a 2000 or I run a 2002 202. Would he be like, oh, a 201 or a 202? I guess that's a. If I did get champ, I would go to the late 90s, super early 206. Kyle, you know a lot about champions. Bill Nance made those Astros and Procraft popular back in the day. Brunswick boats. Yeah, did Dance fish out of an Astro? I remember him in a Procraft. I don't remember him in an Astro. But that didn't mean anything. I remember him in a. What did he fish out of? He fished out of that. Was it a Procraft aluminum boat for years? I remember he had that big aluminum boat. I think it was a Procraft or a Monarch or something. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a damn. It looked like he was fishing out of a toaster oven, dude. That was the ugliest looking boat, and the front chair was like you could have never put a foot operated trolling motor on it because the chair was like the nose of the boat was here, and the chair was like right here. And I remember thinking that I was like, dude, if I bought one of these, you couldn't even use a foot controlled trolling motor. Speaking of, does anybody out there still use a hand controlled trolling motor? You see them from time to time, guys using them. I don't know if they're completely gone. Are they going to make a comeback and somebody's going to figure out that the hand operated trolling motor is in fact more efficient for live scoping? All right. Sprint boat. Hadn't heard about those in a while. There were so many of those little like nichey small brands of boats. John D still using the hand control. They're pretty fun, actually. There's a guy down here that's got a Norris Craft. They're supposedly speed demons. Sprint. Did anybody in the pro world use a Sprint boat back in the day? I remember when Javelin, Sprint and Javelin, the same boat could be. I remember when Mark Davis switched from Skeeter, or switched from Bass Cat to Skeeter. That was really weird to see. That was really weird to see. But I feel like even in that era, when Mark Davis was in a Bass Cat, I really don't think Bass Cat had much respect in the bass fishing world. Remember the big plastic footrest they used to sell as an aftermarket control for your hand troller? I remember the Bigfoot thing that stuck off that was like square and it had like a big square piece in the middle. The small 15-foot Astro. That could be fun. I thought I wanted a Bass Cat. The Cajun Ricky Green Special. Yeah, those were good boats. I thought I wanted one, but I think I haven't. I don't think I've been in the right one yet. Because I was in one a couple years back, and it was just a lot smaller than I thought it would be. But it was the Ira. But like looking at them online, like before I bought my boat, that boat was introduced, and that's what I wanted. I was like, I want this boat, the Ira, and I looked at those, but I'd never like laid eyes on one because there's not a Bass Cat dealer down here. But the idea of it is what I thought I wanted, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't hunt one down because I'd have been very disappointed. They were a lot smaller than I thought. I don't. I think my main problem with Bass Cat is besides like stuff like that. I think they're kind of ugly, but I don't like how everything says Bass Cat. Like the wheels say Bass Cat, the center caps say Bass Cat, the steering wheel says Bass Cat, the damn locks on the on the you know cigarette lighter say Bass Cat. The like literally everything on that boat says Bass Cat. And I get in one and I look around it and I see like a little cat head and I see like Bass Cat everywhere. I'm like, dude, if they would just get rid of all this Bass Cat shit and like just put like a little Bass Cat logo like in the back corner and then just like make the lines uh like not so busy, just like a smooth sided boat, uh it'd be awesome. But they're just too much for me to own. But I mean, it's definitely they have a style. They're now what Ranger was. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, while I have this here, so I was building some baits a couple weeks ago, or about a damn month ago, and I had a guy send me a message and say, "Hey, I missed out on the drop um, of the native gills. I really would like to have one. Let me know when you get more." And I was like, well, I'll be in there dicking around building some baits. If you want one, I'll build you one. And he's like, okay, let me know when it's done, and I'll get it from you. So got the bait built, sent him a message. Crickets. So that's been going on a month now. So I'm now going to put this bait into the free world. This will be, I'm either going to put it on the website or I'm going to do something else with it. But this one will be for sale. One of one color. It's nice looking bait. So there you go. What a shocker. So I'm just putting that out there, just so if anybody goes back and watches this and you're in the market before I put it up, shoot me a message. All right, what else do I need? What time is it? 1:30. Amy sent me a message and said we're about to get bad weather. So that I need to look at the weather. I want to go fishing. I wanted to go fishing. I gotta find my little skewers. Hold on, guys. They're out there, Travis. They're out there. I've been actually very lucky in my career that I have had to deal with very, very, very few of those guys. Like I can probably count on one hand. The guys that have, flaked on something like that. It's coming y'all's way. Its rain is off from 5 a.m. to 11 here. Is it bad, Kyle? Tornadic? I hope not. No, I really have because I've always heard, I've always read about people talking about painting baits for people and getting screwed. I've really been blessed. I haven't had to deal with that a lot. Which I didn't get screwed on that. Like I can get rid of it, so it's not like any big deal. But I think some guys just don't know. Like they can't sniff out the bullshitters, or they're so desperate for work. Because I've had people send me like like I had this one dude, he sent me like 50 pictures of baits I've painted. Like the dude had a whole collection of baits that I'd painted pictures of. And he sent me, like I started getting messages and it was like ding 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 ding, and I was looking at him. I was like, what? What's going on with this? And he finally messaged me. And he was like, can you make me these crankbaits, these colors in crankbaits, and lipless baits and topwaters? And I was looking at it and I was like, this kind of smells stinky. So it's like I can, but it's like if I have to paint one of everything, and I was like, that's going to be troublesome. And he's like, no, I don't want just one. Maybe I'll get two of certain colors. And I was like, that was pretty much the same deal, dude. But anyway, he was like, it's like, yeah, I mean, for that amount of like one-off shit, I was like, you'll have to put down a deposit. And never heard a word back. But I think some guys would give that dude the benefit of the doubt and say, oh yeah, I'll do that for you, and then they do it, and then when it's time to pay the piper, they get the crickets, and then they go on Facebook and complain about it. But any of those jobs that were sounded kind of fishy, I always tried to stay away from. But I think those are the type jobs that guys get screwed on. You know, assuming that when somebody tells you they want 50 baits, that they actually want 50 baits. And I can't, like, I don't know why somebody would want to do that, but it does happen. I don't know what fun it would be to have somebody do a lot of work for you with no intention of ever paying them. Do you know of any guys that want Mexican-made Strike King baits versus the Costa Rican? Is there supposed to be a better one? Is there now a market for one versus the other? I wasn't aware, Travis. Or are you trying to create that? I think there is. Which is better, Costa Rica? Which is the more desirable? Dude, I stayed up till like 1:30 this morning. We were cooking, drinking beer. Buddies came down, shooting the shit. I crawled in bed at like 1, sticked around on my phone until about 1:30. I fell asleep. The bean wakes up, howling, crying at 2. I was like, oh boy. It was a long night. It was a long night. Your storm is here. I need to check. Well, maybe that's a sign I need to get off of here and check the weather and make sure I'm not going to get trapped in this shop. I will I'll jump off of here, check the weather, and make sure I'm not going to get blown away, or my house, or anything for that matter. And my boat is under a tree, so I should probably go move that. And be proactive rather than reactive. So let me go see what I got. Let me go see what the weatherman's saying. Make sure the family is safe. All right. 10 Series 4, ready for paint. We had some twisty winds last night. I don't like that shit, dude. I don't like that shit. Give me a hurricane. All right. Sound cutting out on my end. Well, weird. All right. I'm going to get off of here and go check the weather. Y'all be good. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.